All right, our classwork. Here we go. Let's see. We got an 8, we got a 16. We can change them both into a 2. So this would be 2 to the third to the 5x. And then 16 would be 2 to the fourth to the 3x plus 4. All right, power to power multiply. So 2 to the 15x equals, and then 2, and then we got to distribute. 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times 4 is 16. Now the bases are the same, so we just set the exponents equal to each other. 15x equals 12x plus 16. Subtract 12x, subtract 12x. We get 3x equals 16, divide by 3, and we get x equals 16 over 3. All right, let's see, number 2. We got to get rid of this 5. So in order to get rid of the 5, we got to do log, because the x is in the exponent. So log base 5. And whatever we do to one side, we have to do the other side. So they cancel out, so we get x equals log base 5 of 8. And then I can throw that in the calculator using my change of base formula. All right, so we're going to do log 8, enter, divided, log 5, enter. So I got 1.292. All right, the next one. All right, here we go. Let's see. First thing we got to do is get rid of this 4. So minus 4, minus 4. So now I got 10 to the 3x minus 1 equals 28. All right, now we got to get rid of this 10. So I got to do log base 10, which is just log. So log and log. So now these cancel out. So I got 3x minus 1 equals log 28. Now I add 1. Add 1. That gives me 3x equals log 28 plus 1. And then divide by 3. Divide by 3. So I get my answer. X equals log 28 plus 1 divided by 3. All right, now again, do this one step at a time. All right. So again, I'm going to do log 28, hit enter, then plus 1, enter, then divide it by 3, enter. And I get my answer. It's approximately 0.816. All right, and then 4 is an easy one because we got a natural log, Again, the natural log, they cancel each other out. So it just leaves me with 4x plus 1 equals 2x plus 5. So subtract 2x, and that gives me 2x plus 1 equals 5. Minus 1, 2x equals 4. Divide by 2, and we get x equals 2. All right, and then that takes us to number 5. First thing we got to get rid of is this 4. So I divide by 4. Divide by 4. They cancel out, and I get log 3 of x equals 7. Now we got to get rid of this log base 3. So this is where I use my exponentiation. So we got to change this into a power of 3. So we make that the exponent of a 3, and then we do the same thing to the other side. So now these cancel out, and we get x equals 3 to the 7th power, and 3 to the 7th power is 2,187. All right, and then number 6. First thing we got to do is get rid of 16. So we divide by 16, they cancel out. And I got ln x equals 30 over 16. Now, to get rid of ln, remember ln, all right, we talked about this before, ln is the same as log base e, is what that means. All right, so our base is e, so that means we got to change this into an exponent of the e. Change this into an exponent of e, they cancel out, and we get x equals e to the 30 divided by 16 power. All right. So the E button happens to be in this calculator. All right. If I hit second and the divide it by key, that gives me E. And then I do to the parenthesis and then 30 divided by 16 power. So I got E to 30 divided by 16 power, and then I hit enter. And we get 6.520, which we make into a 1, so it's approximately 6.521. All right, number 7. Number 7, first we got to get rid of this. So I subtract 6. 10 to the negative 12x equals 94. Now we got to get rid of this 10. And the way to get rid of that, since it has the exponent, we got to use log. So I just use log base 10 and log base 10. So they cancel out. So I get negative 12x equals log 94. And then I divide by a negative 12. Divide by negative 12. And we get x is approximately, and here we go. I got log 94. And I'll hit enter. And then divide it by negative 12. And hit enter. And I get negative 0.164. Alright. And number 8. Number 8. First thing I got to do is get rid of this 1/3. So I subtract 1/3. Subtract 1/3. Alright, so this gives me 2/3. Actually, let's do this. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this trick that we learned before. Alright, we talked about this before. We said that if we have fractions and we want to get rid of the fractions, we can. Alright, all we have to do is multiply everything by the common denominator. Well, we only have a denominator of 3. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that. So we'll multiply everything by 3. They cancel out. So it leaves me with 2e to the 4x. Here the 3's cancel out. So it leaves me with 1. And then 3 times 4 is 12. And there we go. That's much better. Now I don't have any more fractions. So now I subtract 1. Subtract 1. I got 2e to the 4x equals 11. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Cancel out. And I get e to the 4x equals 11 over 2. Now to get rid of e, you use ln. So I do ln of this side and ln of this side. They cancel out, and I get 4x equals ln of 11 divided by 2. And then I just divide by 4, divide by 4. So now we get x equals ln 11 divided by 2 over 4. So we get x is approximately, and then I use my calculator. So here we go. I'm going to do ln of 11 divided by 2, and my parenthesis, enter. And then I'm going to divide that by 4 and hit enter. So I get approximately 0.426. All right, and that's it. Those were the classwork problems.